Hi, everybody, and welcome to Safe Option Strategies. My name is Jeffrey Dunyan. I'm the owner and founder of Safe Option Strategies. And I appreciate you taking some time out of your schedule to watch this presentation today. Um, you may have seen a presentation of mine before. You may have seen multiple presentations of mine. I don't know. Uh, I know this. I know that you're hurting right now. I know that this market sell-off has been intense. It's been crazy. Um, it's causing people a lot of heartache. There are a few people that know how to make money in markets like this. There are a few people who have been protected, and I'm I, whatever your circumstances are, whatever has happened in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I want you to know sincerely that my goal is to help you keep it from happening any further and to help you get back what you've lost in the markets. The reality is this: we have had one of the most unprecedented, and I mean literally unprecedented drops that the US market has ever seen. Now, we haven't, the stock market hasn't sold off as much as it did in 2008, but it's getting there. We haven't had a single one-day drop as big as October 19th of 1987. For those of you that remember being in the market back at that time, you remember in one day, the Dow Jones Industrial Average lost 23%. And we haven't had a single one-day drop like that, but we've lost 32% in the Dow Jones in a period of just under a month. I've never seen anything like this in my life, and all the time I've been trading, I've never seen a drop that has come this fast. We're 18% away from equaling the drop that happened in 2008. 18% more to the downside. And right now, with what's happened in the last 4 weeks, 18% farther down doesn't seem like all that much. And I'm not predicting that it's going to happen, but I'm certainly not foolish enough to say it can't happen. And here's the problem that most people are dealing with. There is no way to react to this type of move fast enough to save your portfolio once it has begun happening. There's no way to react fast enough to save yourself. If you are not prepared ahead of time for something like this to happen, then you're sunk. And here's the thing: in other presentations that I've done, I've talked about competitors that what they try and sell you and the gimmicks they try and push on you, and I've talked about the get rich quick schemes that never work. And I'm not gonna spend the same time in this presentation talking about this, because everything that I've said in the past in other presentations that I've done, I record a free intro presentation like this to my program at least once a month, and sometimes as often as every couple of weeks. And for the past few weeks, I've been doing a new one almost every single week, because every single week has brought us more unprecedented changes in this stock market. So instead of going off on what those other companies do and what they promise and what they don't deliver on, I'll just tell you this: I know of about 7 or 8 of my competitors who have gone out of business in the last 3 to 4 weeks, because what they're teaching people to do does not work and does not help people in these type of market conditions. I know one competitor who the system that they taught was very aggressive. It could make a lot of profit. It was very high risk. They've had to refund money to every single person that bought their program since the first of the year, and it shut them down. I always considered them kind of a friendly competitor. I didn't agree with some of what they taught. I didn't disagree with the fact that in a perfect market condition, the things that they were teaching would be profitable. I just disagreed with the fact that they couldn't teach people how to keep from losing a lot of their portfolio when the markets make moves like this. These are not the kind of things we can predict. 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I did not predict that our markets would fall 32% in 4 weeks. Nobody did. Anyone who tells you otherwise is not being honest with you. They are not telling you the truth if they claim that they predicted this. If they don't have it in writing somewhere, stamped and dated prior to this move down, then they didn't really predict it, even if they're telling you. And there are a couple of people on the news that I've seen over the last few weeks who did predict this, but guess what? They've been predicting this for 12 years. And if you predict a drop in the market every single day, you say the market's going to fall, the market's going to fall, the market's going to fall, the market's going to fall. Yeah, eventually the market's going to drop. And you don't get to pat yourself on the back and say, I told you it was going to fall, when you've been wrong 999 times until the one time you were right. That's like me going out in an NBA game. I'm less than 6 feet tall. I'm just under 6 feet tall. It's like me going out to an NBA game and saying, I can hit a three-pointer in this game. And I play with athletes that are, the smallest ones are 6'1" and 6'2", and they're faster than me and they're stronger than me and they can jump higher than me. And 99 times I can't hit a three-point shot. And then one time I happen to knock one down. I say, see, I told you I could do it. I told you I could play with these NBA players. It's just, that might be a silly analogy, but that's the people who claim to have predicted this market. That's what they've done, is they've predicted for 12 years that we have a drop like this, and it never happened. Folks, this is, I can't turn the clock back and save you from everything that has happened these past 3 weeks. It's impossible to do these past 4 weeks. What I can do is, starting right now, today, I can keep you from losing any additional money in your portfolio, and I can help you make it back much faster and much safer than any other way you're going to do it. That's what Safe Option Strategies is all about. As other companies talk about get-rich-quick schemes, and as other companies talk about, how to turn $2,000 into $2 million, I got an advertisement in my email just yesterday. I got an advertisement in my email. And if you got a similar advertisement, steer 100% clear from this company. They are one of the biggest. I'm not even going to say the name of the company, but you'll recognize it if you recognize the advertisement. They basically said in an email that I got just yesterday that you could turn $3,500 into $35,000, and they claim that that's what they've done just recently. And I'm telling you unequivocally right now, it cannot be done, especially not in these market conditions. This is what one of these emails I got said: the last time markets tanked this hard, we made 131% gains. That is a flat out lie. That is just a flat out lie. They made the claim that they turned $5,000 into $35,000. Folks, they didn't do it. Okay, and I'm not naming the company. I'm not going to get in trouble by naming their name, but if you got that same email, I got actually 3 emails from that company in the last 24 hours. They are pulling out all the stops, trying to get people to think that if they buy their program, they're going to get all their money back inside of the next few weeks. It is not going to happen. What we do at Safe Option Strategies is take the exact opposite approach of these get-rich-quick companies that promise the moon and cannot deliver on it. We teach you how to protect your money. If you learn how to not lose money, making money becomes easy. If you learn how to stop the losses right now today, you'll get back everything you've lost, and you'll probably get it back a lot faster than you think. But there's only so much you can do when a market is falling like this, and if you allow the damage to keep taking place, you may get in a position where it's impossible to get it all back. We focus 100% on protecting you from these crazy, unpredictable things. I did not predict that this would happen. In fact, if you'd asked me 4 weeks ago, I would have told you that this coronavirus thing would be no big deal and that we'd be past it in a couple of weeks and that there was no reason to sell. But we've got entire industries shut down right now. We've got millions of people out of work right now that lend value to the economy every single day, and it's not there. This thing could get worse. It could get a lot, and I'm not talking about the virus itself. I'm talking about the markets. I'm talking about the economy. It could get worse before it gets better. I think the market is trying to put in a bottom right now, but I think it's really tough. So let me show you very specifically some of what we do at Safe Option Strategies to keep you from losing money. I'm going to give you some very specific examples from today. Okay, one thing we do is teach you how to set up risk-free trades. I'm going to show you one in just a minute. We teach you how to adjust trades so that when you're in a trade that's not risk-free and it goes against you, you've got an easy way to adjust it. You can adjust a losing trade into a profitable trade, or you can adjust it into a break even, or maybe you can just keep an 80% loss down to a 5% loss. And imagine, as the market has sold off 32% in the last 4 weeks, what if your loss was 3% instead of 32%, just because you knew how to adjust trades and turn them into break even or small losses instead of big losses? Okay, at Safe Option Strategies, we teach you everything you need to know about stocks and options. So don't worry if you don't know a lot about option trading right now. We teach you everything you need to know about trading. A lot of students come to us with zero knowledge of trading prior to this. If you responded recently to an email that I sent out that said something to the effect of, no one will ever take care of your money as well as you will, and it's your broker who is supposed to be the expert, you know what? They're the ones that have lost all your money. Think about this. That the people that we used to rely on to protect us and save us and grow our money, they don't know any more than you and I know right now, because all the information that they used to have exclusively to themselves, it's all available for us online right now. The adults have left the room. They're not in charge anymore. The people who we thought could protect us from this kind of thing, the people who we thought would make rational decisions about your money, they're the ones that have been dumping everything and selling everything, and they're the reason the market is down 32% right now. They're the reason why. No one will take care of your money better than you can, and I'm telling you right now, you can trade better than those so-called experts can trade. How do you set up a trade with zero risk? If you know this already, then you're a step ahead of a lot of other people. If you're new to this, you're going to use long put options, and you're going to use them in conjunction with stock, and you're going to use that in conjunction with a short call, and you're going to set up a risk-free trade. In other words, you're going to have an insurance policy now on your stock. The whole reason people go out and buy insurance on their car or their home or their life or their health is to protect from loss. You can insure the stock that you own and protect it from loss with a very simple strategy called a collar trade. With a collar trade, you buy shares of stock, you buy a long put option, you also get a short call option, and when the stock drops in value, your insurance policy, which is that long put option, goes up in value, and you're made whole. That's the way along. Now, I'm not taking a lot of time with this. I'm going through this very quickly, but that's what a long put option does for you to protect you. It's like having an insurance policy on your stock. Imagine if 4 weeks ago, whatever size your portfolio was, $10,000, $50,000, $200,000, $500,000, $5 million, whatever size your portfolio was. I say was because I know you've been stung these last few weeks. Whatever size that portfolio was, imagine 4 or 5 weeks ago if you had bought an insurance policy for your portfolio that basically guaranteed you not losing any money. Maybe you're out the premium for the policy, but isn't that what insurance is all about? We spend $5,000 a year on homeowners insurance, and our $700,000 home goes down to a $300,000 value because of a flood, and we get our $700,000 for our house, or we get the repair costs, or we get it whatever, but we're not going to get our premium back. that's the cost of insuring it. Wouldn't you have rather, on a $100,000 portfolio, wouldn't you have rather spent $4,000 a month ago to insure it than be down from 100 down to 65 or 66,000 right now? Wouldn't it have been better to spend $4,000 or $5,000 a month ago? It's a rhetorical question. I know what the answer is, and I'm not trying to say it to make you feel worse about the situation. Let me show you how to keep it from ever happening again, and let me show you how you can get it back a lot faster. As of this morning, this is brand new. As of this morning, Micron, this is how you could have set up a zero risk trade earlier today. Shares of Micron are trading at 36.84 when I took this screenshot. Okay, 36.84. You buy 100 shares of stock at 36.84, that's $3,684. You get a short call out in January of 2021 that will pay you $7.65 per share. Okay, the $3,600 is money out of your pocket to own the shares. The $765 is money back into your pocket because someone is going to give you $765 for the right to buy those shares away from you. They can only do that if the shares go up to $40 a share. So you get the $7.65 a share right now today, and you get to sell your $36.84 stock at $40 if that were to happen. We're going to take that money we got for the short call and we're going to buy a long put clear out in July. I feel relatively confident, no guarantee, but I feel relatively confident that between now and July, this virus situation and this downturn in the market is going to be mostly in our rearview mirror. But between now and then, I cannot lose one penny on my trade. The total money I will have spent for this trade would be $3,609, and I have the right to sell the stock for $37 a share. That long put option that expires in July gives me the right to sell my stock at $37 a share. So if Micron goes down another $5 or $6 or $7 or $8 a share, I can still sell it for 37. I'm not going to lose anything. If Micron goes up and someone buys my stock away from me for $40 a share, I have a nice little profit. In fact, the profit on that is $4,000 minus the $36.09, $391 divided by the $36.09 investment. I would actually make 11% on this trade. So I've got zero risk. I can't lose anything, but I could be up 11% on this trade. These types of trades saved all of our students from losing anything these last 4 weeks. These types of trades, we don't just wait until the market is crashing 32%. This is how we trade all the time. This is what we teach people to do, and this is what we do all the time at Safe Option Strategies. Is we teach you how to set up trades like this that can't lose money. So when there's an unexpected black swan catastrophic event like this virus and the market tanks and people are losing more than a third of their retirement in the blink of an eye practically, our students are looking at it and saying, oh my gosh, thank heavens I learned how to do this when I did, because I haven't lost a penny in this drop. I've had more emails from more of my students over the last 3 weeks, just grateful that they learned this strategy because we couldn't predict what happened. We were prepared for it anyway. Okay, you want to see something really cool? See that bottom right where it says we have 91 cents per share we could spend before we have any risk at all in this trade? Here's another trade I looked at just this morning. Now, this is a little more complex. This is buying and selling some options. This is a trade called a long, it's an iron condor, but it's a long iron condor. It's a debit spread instead of a credit spread. We could have jumped into this trade this morning for 55 cents per share, meaning we could have made a profit of 45 cents. We're spending barely over half of that 91 cents that we still have available to us before there's any risk. And here's a trade that we could make, well, $45 dollar profit divided by a $55 investment, we could make 82% on this trade. 82% profit on this trade. And we're spending money that we have left over from our Micron trade. So even this trade we're doing on Zoom video communications has zero risk in it. And when we make our 80 some odd percent profit on this trade, we can put on another trade and another trade and another trade that are zero risk. We can trade collar trades that include stock ownership, and we can trade spread trades at the same time with zero risk. This is what we teach our students to do, folks. We teach them to adjust trades when you don't have the money or don't want to spend the money on stock ownership. You can do just the spread trades like the one we showed you on Zoom. And instead of losing money when 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 6 trades goes against you, and without knowing how to adjust a trade, and just by the way, a trade adjustment, if you want to learn how to adjust trades, there's no one in the business that teaches trade adjustments as well as we do. I know that's a bold statement. I know I'm bragging when I say that. I know of my competitors who try to teach trade adjusting. Folks, no one can teach you spread trade adjusting the way we can. We have a better track record, a more proven track record of adjusting spread trades than anyone in this business. When you try and do option only trading without adjusting, this is a very common scenario. 3 out of 4 trades go exactly the way you want them to, but because you don't know how to adjust a trade, or you've never been taught, or someone taught you an adjustment but didn't help you follow through and execute on that adjustment, 3 out of 4 trades can go exactly the way you want and you can still lose money. When you learn how to adjust trades, 3 out of 4 can go your way, and the one that goes against you, because you set it up correctly and because you adjust it, you can get that back to a 0 loss, or you can get it back to a small profit. We have, in our program, we have 3 spread trades that we helped our students put on just prior to this big drop in the market. All 3 of them have gone horribly, horribly against us. One of them we have adjusted and already closed for profit. 2 of them are still open and they're down. We might take losses on them. We might be able to get them back to break even, but we're not going to take 70 or 80 or 90% losses on them because we've adjusted them now to where probably our worst case scenario is going to be a 15 or 20% loss. Now, that's not zero risk, but on a spread trade that only accounts for maybe 5 or 10% of your portfolio, wouldn't you rather only lose 20% on that one trade than lose 80 or 90% on it? If you put 10% of your tradable money into a spread trade and you lost 100% of that, your portfolio is down 10%. If you only lost 20% on that, you've only given up 2% on your portfolio. And you can survive a few 2% losses to your portfolio. You can't survive 2 or 3 or 4 10% losses to your portfolio. That's the difference that trade adjusting makes. And the difference can be massive in terms of what your net gain is. Same 4 trades, all set up a little bit different so that they could be adjusted. And when the one moves against us, we're still up 59% instead of being down 30 some odd percent. Part of our program is that we teach you how to set up trades and we teach you how to adjust those trades, exactly how to do it. But we don't just stop there. In addition to teaching you how to do these trades so that you can get to the point where you can do them on your own, we send you trades every single week, multiple trades every single week. We detail the trade, how to set it up. We give you specifics on how to adjust it if the time comes to adjust it. We walk through these trades in detail and we help you put them on, we help you adjust them if they need to be adjusted, and we help you close them when the time is right to close them. And we have a phenomenal track record on these trades. In addition to giving you these trades, we do live classes every single morning to talk about these trades, to talk about what's going on in the market, to answer students' questions. Here's an analogy that I like to use. Bear with me for just a moment while I give this analogy. You could go online right now today. Let's say you've never learned how to swim. Okay, and a lot of you know how to swim, so just think back to when you were learning. A lot of you know how to swim, and if you remember back to swimming, you at some point in time had to get into the pool. Or if it was a lake or a river, wherever you learned to swim, at some point in time, you had to get in the water. Okay, imagine trying to learn how to swim from a book or online, even if it's a video online. Let's say you did a Google search on how to swim right now, and you see you probably have thousands of videos to choose from. And you can go out there and you can look at all the right stuff, and you can see the ratings on which video is the best, and you can listen close, and you can pay attention, and you can watch, and you can study, and you can memorize all the techniques. And at some point in time, you have to get in the pool. And what happens if the first time you get in that pool, you get a little water in your mouth? All of a sudden, it doesn't matter what you have done prior to that. It doesn't matter what you have read. It doesn't matter how many videos you have watched. You're going to get some water in your mouth, and the natural human reaction is that you're going to panic a little bit. That's what happens. It's no fault of yours. It doesn't mean you didn't pay attention. It doesn't mean you're not a good student. It doesn't mean you don't comprehend things well. It means that you do what people naturally do when their mouth fills up with water. They panic a little bit. And if you don't have someone in the pool with you to keep you floating and to keep you up and say, it's okay, spit it out. I'm right here. I'm not going to let you drown. I'm not going to let you sink. And with that person standing right next to you, now you can start doing the strokes that you've learned. You can start kicking your feet. You can start turning your head up out of the water. You can learn to keep yourself afloat on your back, taking deep breaths and holding your chest and your face up out of the water. But when you've got someone right there standing next to you in the pool that knows what they're doing, what difference does that make? Huge. It's a massive difference. One of the things we pride ourselves on is, and I hope this is the good kind of pride, one of the things we pride ourselves on at Safe Option Strategies is we don't expect you to watch all these videos on all these trades. We've got more information in our program than anyone out there. We don't expect you to watch all of that and just know how to jump in the water and be okay. We get in the water with you every single day until you know how to do it on your own. We're in the water with you. We're not just teaching you how to trade, we're helping you trade. We have hands down the best education in the industry. If you want to learn option only trading through our spread trade course, you can do that. If you want to learn collar trading only through our collar trade course, that's the one with the stock, that's the zero risk trading, you can do that. If you want to combine it all and learn it all, I think that's the smartest way to go. I think you should learn it all and get good at all of it. Folks, I told you, this is one of the shortest introduction classes that I've given. At the end of this class, and in just a minute as this presentation comes to an end, there's a link you can look at for a little more detailed explanation of the collar trades. There's a link that you can click right on that will give you a little more explanation of the spread trades and the adjusting. But what I want to leave you with as I wrap this up is, if you want to stop losing money right now, and if you want to get back on the track of making good money and sleep well at night, that's one of the biggest things in the world. One of the biggest things in the world is, can you put your head on your pillow at night and know that when the Dow Jones opens tomorrow morning and it's 2,700 points to the downside in the first tick of the market, so far down that the circuit breaker triggers to stop all trading for 15 minutes. You don't have to be fearful of that kind of thing anymore. You don't have to worry about that happening anymore. We have seen just in these last few weeks several new records be set for the single biggest point drops and the single biggest point increases that you can imagine. History is being made almost every day in the stock market right now. And if you learn how to protect your money, growing it becomes easy. And folks, we can teach you that. I have had such a roller coaster of emotions these last few weeks because I've had conversations with people who have lost their ability to retire next year. That's how devastating this drop has been. They're less than a year from retirement, and now they're 30 some odd % down because they have a licensed broker that doesn't know any more than they do and got caught up in the hysteria of selling everything off and perpetuating this move to the downside. And then I've had conversations with students of mine who are almost in tears because they are so grateful that they learned how to protect everything. And they said, wow, I haven't lost a penny in this drop. It's freaked me out watching what's going on. And then I look at the balance of my portfolio and I just breathe this big sigh of relief and say, oh my gosh, I could be down 35 or 40% and having to go back to work or not being able to retire next year or this year like I wanted to. I have heard both extremes. And it just, you know, I'm elated to know that we were able to help someone save their portfolio, and I'm heartbroken. I'm absolutely heartbroken over those people who have lost a tremendous amount of money. And the worst ones, and I'm not, you know, forgive me for this. I'm not going to say the person's name. I'm not saying this to pick on him, but the most heart-wrenching conversation I had was a guy who was going to buy my program in early January. And he said, Jeffrey, it's just too expensive. It just costs too much money. Okay. Let me show you the price of our program. Don't turn off the computer when you see this, because if you're sticker shocked by this, I can't help you. I really can't. I offer a pretty big discount on the program. And if at the end of this presentation, if you'll send me an email and ask the question about how much the program is, I'll give you a pretty sizable discount off these prices right now. In fact, I think I'll shock you with the discount that I'll give you off of that. But the gentleman looked at these prices, the ones you're seeing in front of you right now, and he said, it's just too expensive. Now, I had no idea at that time how much money he was trading with. No idea. He called me about 2 weeks, well, about a week into this sell-off. And he shared with me about a week into this sell-off, he shared with me that he had lost $30,000. And I said, look, you can still jump into my program. I'll still give you the discount that you passed on a few weeks ago. I'm still willing to give you that discount. He passed on it again. He said it's still too expensive. I said, how is a few $1,000s too expensive when you just lost $30,000? Well, I just don't want to pay that much money. I said, okay, listen, I hope the damage is done. I hope the markets rebound. At that time, I still thought the markets would come back a little bit. This last weekend, just a couple days ago, he sent me an email. He had $500,000 in the market. It's his retirement. It's everything he has, everything he's saved all his life, everything he's worked for. It's down under $260,000 now. He's lost almost half of it because he made some desperate moves to try and get back that first 10% that he lost, and that first 15% that he lost, and that first 20% he lost. He made some desperate moves that ended up costing him even more, and he has lost almost half of what he's made his entire life almost half of it gone in 4 weeks. And the reason I'm sharing this story with you is this. I could have spent 15 minutes on the phone with him if he had joined our program. I could have spent 15 minutes on the phone with him and had every single stock in his portfolio protected from any loss at all. But our program was too expensive. Our program being too expensive has cost him half of his retirement. Folks, I will work with anyone who is willing to invest in themselves. I will bend over backwards to help you protect your money and then grow it. There is not one single one of my students anywhere in this world that cannot get a hold of me and ask a question. That trade I showed you with Micron just a little while ago, a student of mine emailed me last night, 10 o'clock my time. I hadn't gone to bed yet. I was close. I was getting ready. I knew I'd be up early this morning. 10 o'clock, he emails me and says, I'm looking at this trade. What do you think? And I spent 15 minutes emailing him back at 10 o'clock last night, telling him I would use a different strike price and a different expiration date on one part of it, but I really liked what he had done with the other part of it. And that trade you saw on Micron right there a few minutes ago, he put that trade on this morning. He can't lose money on it. He cannot lose money on it. He is absolutely set moving forward. I'll do that with any one of my students. When you look at these prices, and the discount I offer is pretty good discount. When you look at these prices and you say it costs too much, I want you to think about the gentleman that was looking at our program back in January and ask yourself, does it really cost too much? I hope to hear from you. Send me an email, ask me about the discount. I'll show you how much I'll save you off these prices that you're seeing right now. And if, there's the email address you can send it to. You can't click on this on your screen, but if you went to my website, the link that you clicked on in the email took you to my website, and just below the box that the video is in that you're watching, if you haven't blown it up to full screen, just below the video itself is a little thing you can fill out, a little form you can fill out. Only put your phone number in that form if you want me to call you. No one at my company will call you unless your number is there. You got to give us an email address so we can email you back details about the pricing. There's a box to ask questions if you want. I'll answer any questions you have about our program and about how we can help you out. If you want someone to call you, put your phone number in the box. You can fill out the form without a phone number in there. So if you want a phone call from someone here, put it there. I hope to hear from you. If you will email me or call and ask about the discount to the program, I will send you a discount that will be good for 72 hours. And the reason I do that is because I do not hire any salespeople. There are no salespeople that work for my company. Instead of paying a salesperson a commission and you having to deal with someone who might try and talk you into this, I would rather you take a look at it, get your questions answered, know that there's no commissions to anybody involved. And the reason I put a 72-hour timestamp on the discount is because I don't want to work with people that waffle continually. The discount is for those individuals who are willing to do their due diligence, get their questions answered, and make a decision. And that's why I offer the discount but put a timestamp on it. It's not to try and pressure you into doing something before you're ready. It's because if you don't have the ability to look at something and research it and make a decision, you don't belong in the stock market. I know that's kind of harsh to say that, but that is reality. Okay, I offer an even bigger discount for the people that are willing to get their questions answered and do it within 24 hours, because those are the ones I know are really serious about getting some help. And then I will do anything I can to help out. So if you want some details on how much this discount is, if you have some questions, email us or call us. It's as easy as filling out the form below this video. If this is not the right thing for you folks, I want you to know I wish you nothing but the best. I wish you nothing but success. I'm not happy about anyone who's lost money these last few weeks. That does not make me happy. I am delighted for those people that I can help and for those people that I can get back on the right track. Stop the losses right now and get them back on the road to making some good money. I hope to hear from you, but if not, I wish you the best. Thanks. Bye-bye.